You don't want militarized people in the streets just roaming around, snatching people up, many of which turn out to actually be U.S. citizens that just don't have their papers on them. Are we
Right.
really going to be the Gestapo? Where's your papers? Is that what we've come to?
Andrew P, how's the weather in Oklahoma right now?
It was beautiful the last 2 or 3 days, but there's a cold front coming in tonight, and it's going to be like 25-mile-an-hour wind out of the north tomorrow, and in the teens at night again for a couple days. So it'll be cold.
Is it exceptionally warm for this time of year in
So
Oklahoma?
it has been the last couple days. It's been in like the high 60s, low 70s the last couple days. But don't worry, there is no such thing as climate change or global warming.
Yeah, yeah. So Colorado, 80% of our state's water supply comes from our snowpack, which is like the accumulation of snow that builds up in the mountains, and then in the springtime it starts to melt and it fills our streams and our rivers and our lakes, and that's basically our drinking water and running power plants and all that other stuff. Uh, this year we have the record low snowpack, and we've only been counting it since 1987, but it's so low, like by this time, normally every year, all of our ski resorts, all their lifts are open. Everybody's out skiing. This year, nobody's skiing. We haven't had, even the mountains aren't getting any snow. It's kind of wild. And if you look at that chart, like it just shows um, like the whole east or western part of the United States and how dry it is.
That's what
Which,
I've
go
got. I was
ahead.
going to say I got a lesson on this the other day because our buddy Clint that lives on the other side of the Rockies from you,
Hmm.
he kept mentioning to me the snowpack and how there wasn't enough snowpack, and I'm not a Colorado mountain guy, so every time he said that, I was just smiling and nodding and like, oh yeah, yeah, and
Sure.
like finally he said it just within the last week, and I was like, oh, so not a lot of snow, like easy to drive around, that's good, and then he broke down to me what the lack of snowpack is going to mean come spring, and like the Arkansas River flows 2 miles from my house, if that, and that
Yep.
starts in Salida, Colorado, I believe. And
Then north of
normally
Sladio.
in the spring and early summer, the Arkansas is full and beautiful, and now I'm starting to think that I'm not going to get that this year.
Yeah, definitely not. And the big issue is going to be wildfires. If we don't
Okay,
get
fuck.
snowpack, I mean, usually spring is our wettest month because the snow is a little bit wetter and it accumulates and we get these big dumps in. So hopefully we get that, but still, like that doesn't really accumulate to a pack like it
One
does the early stuff.
to stick on the whole climate change theory, though, what's funny, we're going to talk about Greenland in a little bit, but the reason Greenland is now so valuable to us is because of all the ice that's melting up in the Arctic area. It's
Yeah.
now opening up shipping lanes that have never been there before, and like Trump is arguing because of that, we need Greenland because of all these new shipping lanes, and it's like I want somebody to be like, pardon me, like time out. Why do we have these new shipping lanes and like try to like lead him to that, but it wouldn't work. But I want
Because the
somebody to
ice
bring
is
that up.
melting. But why
Yeah.
is the ice melting? Because the world is heating up.
Yeah.
Oh,
You liberals with your nonsense. Yeah.
your
So,
scientific nonsense.
well, I hope you guys have a wet, I guess January, February. What are we halfway through January? Because
Yeah.
yeah, that's gonna be. I hate fire season. Like if you live in California, you get used to earthquakes after a while. And like you and
Hmm.
Clint both have gotten like used to the fires. Like Clint will be like, "Yeah, there's a fire not far from me." And then he'll send me a picture. And it's literally like it looks like it's right there. Like I'm like, "Evacuate. What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh no, that one's pretty contained. It's not heading this way." And like I panic just looking at the picture. So the fact that you two are so calm about the fires around you freaks me out.
Well, I mean, you're calm until you're not calm, but
Yeah,
it really depends on which way the wind's blowing.
that's
That's the
crazy.
major factor. Because if the wind's blowing towards you, then the fire is going to be coming
Yeah.
towards you, right? So,
Okay. Well,
yeah.
good luck this spring, sir. I guess it's fire
Yeah.
season in the spring or the summer.
Summer, late fall, or early fall
Okay.
is usually our big fire season. But I mean, if we don't get any moisture in the spring, then
You know,
or in early summer.
I actually heard a tip that you should contact your local officials and tell them. But I saw a smart guy on TV say that if you rake the forest, you'll have less fire. I can't remember who said that.
We're working on that, Andy.
Yeah,
We're working the forest.
it was a very wise man. So anyhow, real quick, a little cleanup from last time. The last show we did, I was a little down about America. And I think I made a comment at the beginning of the episode where I was like, I want to move. Like, I don't want to be here anymore. I got to tell you, I feel a little bit better about that right now.
Hmm.
It's
Okay.
because of the reaction to what's going on in Minnesota. Like, I'm quite pleased to announce that I doubt not all at all, but like a lot of the Trump voters that have talked to in the past 4 or 5 days, they're with us on this. Like they don't think it's cool. I had a couple buddies over for football this weekend, and two of my neighbors came by, and they're two that I was like, we got into it leading up to the election because they couldn't believe that I thought Kamala would be better for the economy. Like, and I think I told you a month or two ago that both of them individually have told me they were like, hey, how did you know that like you were kind of right? Like what how did you know that? And I'm just like, it was freaking obvious. Anyhow, they both brought it up to me this weekend, and the terms they were using was like us talking. They were like, they're blatantly lying about what happened, and if they'll lie to us about that, imagine what else they're lying to us about. And I
They've
was
been
like,
lying to us for 10 years.
it was so hard for me because I wanted to be like, fucking duh, but like I didn't want to be, and I was like, well, yeah, and I was diplomatic about it, and then I actually also called a buddy of mine who's a police officer here in Tulsa. And I just asked him some, and I said, hey, I'm just asking for the info for my pod. Like, I'm not going to argue with you about it. What are your thoughts on the shooting? And he actually said about what I said. He said he would probably get off. He said it should be investigated, but he would probably get off in a trial because all he has to do is prove that he feared for his life. But he should get fired because he should have never placed himself in front of the vehicle. Like from what he said, you never put yourself in front of or behind a vehicle, like, because you're creating risk at that point. So
Right.
basic thing is he would probably not be found guilty of murder, but he should be fired for terrible police work, basically. So that made me feel good. And then
Well, what about the second two shots? Like that seems like that was
what he said there was interesting, and it's that as a cop, you're basically trained that once you fire the first shot, you basically unload your clip. Like if you decide you're taking someone down, and if you think about all police shootings that like you've ever seen on video, like that's kind of how it goes. But that's how they're trained is like if you've decided your life's in danger and you need to take this person's life, like you take their life. Like one shot ain't gonna do it. Like so that's the way they're trained, and you can argue with whether or not that's good training or not, but that's the way most cops are trained. I'd never heard that, but when he said that, it made sense based off every video I've ever seen of cops opening fire on someone.
I just looked it up because I had an interesting Uber driver yesterday, and I'll tell you about him in a little bit. So Jonathan Ross, ICE officer who shot Renee Good,
Yep.
he has a GoFundMe, and
He
his
t-
GoFundMe right now is at
oh,
$687,602.
so like yesterday or the day before, the goal was $200,000, and he was almost to it. He had like $172,000. So he must have hit it, and then I don't know how you do it. I guess they increased the goal, but the goal was only 200,000 like a day or two ago.
The
And
goal's raised to 800,000 right now.
he probably has multiple GoFundMe's. But he doesn't have them. I can't remember who it was, but some MAGA influencer started a GoFundMe for him, and Megan Kelly was like giving it attention online. So it's probably
Oh.
multiples.
So he's basically has over $500,000 now for shooting a
And
lady in the face.
here's the thing, like in a situation like this, if it was to raise money for a legal fund, 'cause it's going to cost, I don't know how much money, but if he had to go to court, he'd have to hire lawyers and all that, then it would make sense. But like the Trump administration is making it very clear that he's not going to court for this. Like they've already exonerated him. So
Yeah. And if that was the case, wouldn't the ICE organization pay
I don't know if
for legal fees?
I don't know if DHS would pay for it or not in that case, but I would say
I think like police departments do.
could be. I'm not sure. It depends on if he followed policy or not. Like I think if you don't, with most jobs, if you breaking policy when you do something that gets you sued, then they're not going to cover you on it. So I
Mm.
think
So even if he gets fired, he still has enough money to survive.
he's going to be all right. So
Yeah.
he's going to be in hiding for a while. I don't know if you saw, there were 3 polls that came out today, and I'm going to say all 3 of them were reputable polls. One of them was like one of the main polls that people trust. The other 2 were just somewhat reputable, but it was asking people what they thought of the shooting. Was it justified or not? I can't say this word, Quinnipiac. Yeah, the Quinnipiac poll. 28% of Americans that saw the video thought it was a justified shoot. So that's less than a third of Americans. YouGov had it at 35%. That's about a third. And Data for Progress had it at 34%. So it seems like about a third of Americans watched that video and thought it was cool, and the rest did not. So that's more than I thought, honestly. I'm happy with those numbers right there. Between that and the couple Trump voters I know telling me that that they were most shocked with the fact that the administration is so blatantly lying about it, and they were almost offended. Like they didn't say this, but the attitude was like they think we're stupid. Like that was kind of the attitude towards it. So like I
Yeah.
said,
I mean, they've it's funny that one little thing like that, not little thing, but one thing actually opens their eyes to that, and maybe they'll kind of start realizing, oh, maybe they're lying about that and the economy and Venezuela and whatever else. Like,
yeah, one of them flat out said, if they would lie to us about this, what else are they lying to us about? And like, it was so hard because I wanted to politely be like, actually, there's quite a bit, but I was trying to. It's one of those moments
I
where
would have said something.
you have to be graceful there, and like the worst thing you could do is like go on one of those "I told you so" like type moments. So I just was like, okay, cool. I mean, that was
Yeah.
relieving to me because when we talked last week, like I very much believe that you shouldn't let politics get in the way of a friendship. Like we've all known throughout COVID and all that, we've seen some friendships break up because of politics or COVID or whatever it is, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But last time we talked, I was in a mode where I was like, I'm going to avoid some people because I don't want to lose friends over this. But if they say certain things, like I'm going to have a problem. Like, and I was very
Yeah.
worried. But so far,
Yeah.
I think we're good. So happy with that. Also, first video clip of the night. Very impressed today that there was a certain podcaster that was kind of speaking out about this. Somebody we've criticized for not really speaking up in the past. And just so you know, I took 3 clips and I put them together, and I didn't do it real fancy. So if somebody's watching this and they're like, "Oh, he's only playing the selected parts," yeah, I am. I took 3 clips and I put them together. So this is edited.
Yeah.
Check this out.
I think after that woman was shot, I think unfortunately, well, everything's unfortunate about it, right? But one of the real problems is now ICE are villains, and now people are looking at them like murderous military people that are on the streets of our city, and they're masked up, which is also a problem, right? Because if you get arrested by a cop, you're allowed to ask the cop, "What is your name and badge number?" And you could film that cop. If you get arrested by an ICE agent, you have no such right. They're wearing a mask. They don't have to tell you shit. That's a problem. That's a problem on our city streets, right? Because you could also pretend to be an ICE agent. You don't want militarized people in the streets just roaming around, snatching people up, many of which turn out to actually be U.S. citizens that just don't have their papers on them. Are we really going to be the Gestapo? Where's your papers? Is that what we've come to? It's also very ugly to watch someone shoot a U.S. citizen, especially a woman, in the face.
Right.
Where it's like, I'm not that guy. I don't know what he thought. And again, this is a guy who had almost been run over, but it just looked horrific to me. I mean, when people say it's justifiable because the car hit him, it seemed like she was kind of turning the car away.
He had one moment of clarity out of
Let's hope
last 5 years.
like my neighbors, let's
That's
hope
good.
this is they're beginning to open their eyes to it. And now possibly because of this incident, they're going to start noticing other things that are ridiculous. So let's just
I
hope.
hope
Let's
so.
cross our fingers. It's all we can hope for. So
Okay.
Um,
Joe Rogan and his moment of clarity.
yeah, but I'll say this. It depends on how much media these people are seeing, though, because like there's a guy in Minnesota that gave a press conference today standing next to like I guess the captain of the police in Minnesota and the mayor. And he's an American citizen, Somali born. He is a full-on citizen. And he walked outside to take a smoke break at work. And like as soon as he got out there, a masked guy started running at him, tackled him, pinned him down, threw him in the back of a car, drove him around for 2 hours. Then when they confirmed he was a citizen, dropped him off like miles away from his work where they picked him up. And he asked them, he's like, "Are you going to take me back to where you grabbed me?" And they were like, "No, you can walk," and just kicked him out of the car. And he had bruises and all kinds of stuff from his interaction with them. And apparently, we haven't seen it yet, but apparently there's security camera footage from outside where he had walked outside to. So he's suing them. So I hope that gets a lot of publicity. Also, I don't know if you saw the video, but there was I think it was a 22-year-old kid in LA during some ICE protests that an officer walked. There was a skirmish, so the kid was definitely agitating, but the officer walked up to about 2 feet away and shot him with one of those paintball guns full of the pepper balls
Hmm.
right in the eye. And apparently the kid had to do like 6 hours of surgery. He's never gonna be able to see out of that eye again.
Oh
And
my
he's
gosh.
gonna sue the shit because that's a violation of policy. You're not supposed to aim above the chest with those. So
Big time.
it just depends on how much of this they're seeing. Because if they're only watching certain things, they're not seeing any of that.
Well,
But
you said policy. What was the percentage of ICE officers that passed their written exam?
God, there was a lady. Okay, this is great. There's a lady that I'm gonna say she's a reporter. She's a reporter for like an online blog type website that's not a reputable magazine of any kind. But she 2 months ago, just to see, applied for ICE and filled out the form truthfully, all of her information. Um, she's easily Googleable. If you Google her, you'll see that she is a Trump hater, and she got hired. They hired her and she didn't have to do a background check or anything. They just hired her on the spot and told her where to report. She obviously didn't go, and then she wrote a big story about it. But like the
Huh.
fact that like they got all her info and they didn't even bother to look into her at all. She's a reporter. She talks shit about Trump all the time.
Well,
There's no vetting.
that shouldn't be like they'll draw the line, right? They should be able to hire whoever they want, and like, but they're hiring everybody, right?
That's the thing is, so yes, they should hire everybody across all ideological spectrums, but you're telling me that this administration purposely hired her? I'm inclined to
Well,
believe that they just never looked. They never did they never looked into her at all.
right. Yeah, I bet that's the
Yeah.
case, but that's good because that's like they're not discriminating against leftists.
I would hope that if you're hiring somebody for law enforcement, part of that is checking their social medias.
That's a good point.
I would hope. If it's not, then we have a problem.
Yeah,
So, so
yeah.
I'm gonna
No,
say.
that's a great point, actually.
So
Uh, and
the
you were
other,
talking about leaving the country last
Mhm.
time.
I did. I said I don't want to be in America anymore. And I actually had a buddy that is a Trump voter that texted me Sunday, probably a couple hours after we uploaded it, and the text just said, "You don't want to live in America anymore." And I was like, he's watching this episode,
What does his
and
name start with?
I'm not going to tell you. He's my Oklahoma MAGA friend.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So, but anyhow, like I said, I hope that he's in line with my neighbors. He might not be. I'm not going to ask him because if he's not, I don't want to think bad thoughts. Um,
Right.
but I don't know if you saw also today, 6 investigators in the Civil Rights Division in Minnesota for the feds resigned in protest because the government told them to open an investigation into the shooting, but they wanted them to investigate the woman that got killed, Renee Good, and her wife. They wanted those two investigated and not to
Well,
investigate the shooter. And these 6 investigators in the Civil Rights Division apparently protested to the upper management and said, "Hey, no, like in any other case, we would, if nothing else, just to clear the officer, we would do an investigation." And
yeah.
they were told, "Nope, under no circumstances should you investigate the shooting. Investigate them and their ties to domestic terrorism." So those 6 resigned in protest.
Oh, so
Awesome.
they're building some sort of file on them so they have talking points to say that they were
How
terrorists,
they were
essentially.
connected to different terrorist groups, I'm sure. So, but hopefully, and we got to cross our fingers, if the Democrats can take either the House or the Senate, those 6 are going to be testifying at a hearing at some point
Hmm.
after the next elections, because they're probably not
Okay.
going to do. They can't do anything now because the government's not going to do anything about it. But that's what we need from them. So, to bring really quick on that point, though, since Trump got in office this term, in the past almost year, those 6 he didn't hire them, so those 6 resign in protest, but. The Trump appointed U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York resigned because of the Eric Adams pardon. The Trump appointed U.S. attorney for Eastern District of Virginia resigned because of the Letitia James case. The Trump
Hmm.
appointed U.S. attorney for the Western District of Virginia resigned because of a Russia investigation that Trump wanted them to open into like Russian collusion between Hillary and the Russians. And then this Sunday, Trump and Pam Bondi fired the number 2 U.S. attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia after he declined to lead the James Comey case. So they've lost 6 U.S. attorneys that Trump appointed less than a year ago because the
There's
U.S.
more than
attorney,
that.
well,
Since
those are the 6 that have resigned in protest because of stuff that they've been asked to do by Bondi and really
okay,
by Trump. So
but
that's good. People are
haven't there
standing
been
up.
so many attorneys and judges that have quit since Trump got elected the second?
I don't know about judges, but attorneys, yes, but they're the lower level ones that have been in office. They were in office when Biden was there. They've probably been in office through several presidents. These specifically are the ones that Trump appointed to head the office.
Hmm.
So
That's interesting. Trump attorneys that quit under Trump. At least 6. Okay.
yes, like I
I
said,
thought
those
I
are the
read a
ones.
number where there was like thousands of them, but
Well, like I said, those are all the people that were career attorneys in
yeah.
those departments. So he didn't appoint them. So um,
So,
bef
dude, I had an Uber driver
okay,
uh yesterday. He's from Ethiopia, and we got into it.
like
He
arguing.
started talking politics, and he came to America um as a coffee bean salesman from Ethiopia,
Okay,
and he was here a year and a half ago. And he said as he was going to the airport, Ethiopia broke out into a war. So when he got to the airport, they said you can't fly there right now. So he's been here for a year and a half. He got his temporary citizen status,
mm,
but he wants to leave so bad. He was talking so much shit about Trump, and like he was like, this ICE stuff, he said that this is worse than happening in Ethiopia right now, which he was like, it's he's a dictator. He was calling Trump a dictator. He was like, this is third world country shit. And he said that he's been trying to get out of the country and they won't let him. Like they closed down the office for him to get out of the country because I think his lawyer told him that it's because they want him to be a statistic. So once his temporary status comes up, like is over with, they want to deport him so that he's part of the statistics. He's just another number on their chart that they deported, right?
that's really
it was wild. He's like, I want to leave this country so bad right now, like America, everybody around the world, and how we were the leaders because we had, all these great ties with all these great countries, and now like we've just turned that all to shit.
that's really sad that
It's
we're at
very
that
sad.
point.
Very sad. Like we
Yeah,
used to be the country that these people would come to for not only refuge, but like to make a better life for themselves, even through like, legal ports of entry. Um,
that's
and now they want to leave and they can't leave.
there's some there's a lot of people that want to leave. There's even Americans that want to leave.
Yeah. Oh, did you see that they're like denying or US passports are getting denied? Like people will travel across
mm,
overseas, and then when they try to travel home, they're like, your passport was reported stolen.
that's odd. I wonder if that's the U.S. State Department that is not letting them back in. I would bet.
I
Yeah,
think that's what it is.
that's
It's-
scary.
yeah.
Okay, well, anyhow, okay,
So
well,
maybe if we just leave, we can't come back, which is like,
yeah. I don't know. Right now, like financially for me, like, oh, I'm leaving the country like that. I can't do that. Like I don't have the money saved up to pull that. But like I've been wondering for the past couple of weeks, like if I had the money, if I could just be like, honey, get the kid, we're leaving. Like I wonder if I would or not. Like I don't know. I
hmm.
just for a couple of years, see how things work out, and then come back if everything turned out good.
Like if you didn't have to have a job, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, just get
Yeah.
out of here. So
Yeah. Because I've been thinking about it. I'm like, well, I'd have to get a job and I'm not going to know the language. So
mm,
basically, I'm going to be a dishwasher
yeah.
or, landscaper or something, some kind of
I
manual labor.
I just thought of something. I saw a commercial the other day for a place that would be perfect for me and you.
Hmm.
Like any American looking to flee, like this is probably the best spot in the world to go to. Luckily for you, I pulled this commercial. Would you like to take a look? Check
Oh,
this
no.
check this ad out.
The place to be is Saudi Arabia. The place to be is Riyadh. The place to be is Diriyah. The place to be is home. Welcome to Trump International Wadi Safar. Private, gated, limited. The hottest ticket in town. Inside these gates, the Trump mansions, where winners reside. The Trump International Golf Club. anchored by an 18-hole championship golf course, 5-star services at Trump International Hotel, with world-class entertainment and fine dining. Exactly as it should be. And beyond that space, room to breathe, clean air, open skies, where you see more stars than neighbors. You don't come here to get away. You come here because you found your place to be. Trump International, Wadi Safar Riyadh, the place to be.
Is that already built?
That's being built right now. They're selling. So when I first saw
gonna-
that, I thought it was AI and there's no way it was real. I was wrong. I sent you pictures. Eric Trump and his wife went there for the dedication recently. So
It
they
is AI. That's what I got. I was like, that's AI, isn't it?
It's not AI. Or I'll bet they did use AI for the commercial, but it's a real place. Eric and his wife just went there to to dedicate it. So Eric and his wife are standing in
So
front of these.
it's not built yet, though.
They're building it. They're selling the leases already. You put down a deposit. Yeah, you can put down a deposit now, but it's still being built.
You know what this is built for?
I don't know. What's it built for?
This is built for Trump and his administration
To flee
and
to?
all the billionaires to flee when they start getting prosecuted under international law.
It could be. Real quick, the
That's
picture.
exactly what this is.
So did you happen to notice there that they were making Saudi Arabia sound fantastic? It's home. It's the place where winners are. Like, it's weird to have the president of this country and his company is telling you that the best place is Saudi Arabia, not America. So I found that weird. But also for the Christian nationalists that like Trump, Eric's standing in front of this plaque, and it's in Arabic, and I couldn't tell what it says, so I had to look it up. But it says, "In the name of Allah, most gracious, the most merciful, under the reign of the custodians of the two holy mosques." That's what the gold plaque that's going to be at the Trump Saudi Arabia, or whatever you call it. That's what it says.
In the name of Allah?
In the name of Allah, most gracious, the most merciful, under the reign of the custodian of the two holy mosques. That's the plaque at his Trump Saudi Arabia. I don't know what you call it.
We need to share this with all the evangelical Christians that are so gung-ho Trump.
It's weird, and you would think there'd be enough common sense where Eric and his wife wouldn't stand there for a picture with that plaque, but they don't care, and they know that either their base will never see this, or if they do, it won't be a big deal, one or the other. But I'm confused. I know a lot of people that think that Trump is the most Christian president ever, and
well, it's not that they had to look it up because it's actually in English.
Is it in English on there too? I didn't notice.
Yeah. So one of them is in Arabic and then one of them is in English.
Hold on.
Arabic? Do they speak Arabic there? Is that right?
I'm guessing. It does. Okay, I didn't even notice. Yes, one of them is in English.
Yeah, they speak Arabic. Okay. So one's in Arabic and one's in English. So they actually probably read the sign and then stood in front of it.
Yeah. Anyhow, I thought that was hysterical.
We're living in such weird times, man.
Yeah.
And I've said that the last 6 podcasts.
You're gonna keep saying it for another 3 years, but
Probably.
anyhow, I thought that was funny. The other funny thing to happen today, this just happened, and I hope you haven't seen this yet. Trump went to Detroit and toured, I believe it was a Ford car manufacturing plant. Have you seen any clips from this today?
No.
Okay. Why? And I got to tell you what happens here. But Trump's touring the plant, and people are down below with their cell phones recording Trump, and he's waving at people. And someone from the crowd yells at the beginning of the video. You'll hear it, but it's hard to understand. But somebody calls him a pedophile protector at the beginning of the video. See if you can tell what Trump is saying back to him. You can't hear Trump, but you can see his mouth. And I'm not a lip reader, but I could tell right away. Check this video out real quick.
He said, fuck you, and then he went.
Yeah, he gave him the finger. He did.
That was the finger? Okay.
Check out the picture. Somebody zoomed in and enhanced the video somehow, but yeah, no, he gave the guy the finger.
Oh, that's gonna go on our
So I just thought that was
on our
so.
thumbnail.
I've never seen a president tell an American citizen F you," and give him the bird, let alone an auto worker. It honestly is like the perfect symbology for like Trump's administration right now, like telling the common manufacturer like F you and giving him the finger. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought that was too perfect.
Speaking of
So.
Epstein, has anything come out
No,
recently?
the Epstein files are totally overshadowed by all this, so no. Um, so the Trump administration, and damn it, I didn't pull it. I wish I had. But they actually responded to the finger incident. Hold on.
The Trump administration did?
Yeah. All
Like
right.
the White House actually like put out a tweet about this?
Yes, the deputy communications director released a statement that said a lunatic was wildly screaming expletives in a complete fit of rage, and the president gave an appropriate and unambiguous response. First of all, the guy just yelled it once. They lie about everything. She said a lunatic was wildly screaming expletives in a complete fit of rage. That's not what happened. The guy yelled pedophile protector, and Trump lost it. They have to exaggerate everything. Anyhow, but they're going to double down on this, I would assume. But
Do
what's
you think
funny
that
is
guy's gonna get in any trouble for that?
he got suspended.
Oh,
Yeah, he got suspended without pay, and he said he doesn't regret it at all. Yeah, so he gave an interview to the Wall Street Journal or somebody this evening. So
Okay.
yeah. Anyhow, I just thought that was funny. So and
Interesting. So Ford suspended him without pay.
yeah,
I'm wondering if Trump had anything to do with that, or if like Ford
I'm
was
sh
like,
I'm sure somebody in Trump's entourage went and talked to somebody immediately about that. But he's a union worker, so I'm curious to see like how this will play out because the union should have his back in this case. I don't know.
totally.
We'll see. So I just thought
Another
that,
court case.
yeah.
How, I don't think there's been anybody in the history that's actually been through so many court cases as Donald Trump.
Even before he was president, you got to remember all the cases. Like right as he was coming into office last time, he was getting sued because of Trump University, where he defrauded, I guess, a total of $25 million out of people, and he lost that case. Or actually, he ended up settling that case, and he had this thing where forever he would always say, "I never settle. You never settle," because that's when you're admitting you defeat when you settle. But he turns out he settles all the time. So anyhow, yeah. Thought that was interesting. So anyhow, also I forgot to tell you this fun stat earlier. Minnesota's immigration population is 1.5% of its total population. Okay.
Okay.
Have you noticed that Trump's only sending the surging ICE militarized police into blue cities and blue states?
Yeah. Yeah, I think we talked about this, didn't we?
Texas and Florida both have over 5% of their population as illegal immigrants, yet you haven't seen anything about ICE raids in those cities or in those states. So
Didn't Texas ask for it? They're like, bring ICE to us. We want them.
they haven't done it. So I'm
It
sure
would it would destroy their economy.
no,
and
and
the
that's
food.
what I was gonna say. That's why, like, that's the little thing is in Texas they know that they need the immigrant labor, so they could fix the border or fix the problem. And what they'd have to do is go after employers. If you went after employers and started punishing employers for hiring illegal labor, that would nip this in the butt real quick. But they've never done that because they know that the employers need the illegal labor. But I'm sure there are some ICE agents in Texas, but it's not a surge of ICE agents, no matter at all. So. I just thought that was funny.
I looked up how many times Trump's been sued. From
Oh, God.
1973 until he was elected president in 2016, Donald Trump and his businesses were involved in over 4,000 legal cases in the United States federal courts and state courts, including battles with casino patrons, million-dollar real estate lawsuits, personal defamation lawsuits, and over 100 business tax disputes. And then below, there's another article that says Trump has lost 93% of his court cases.
Sounds about right. I mean,
4,000 legal cases.
that's so bad. Anyhow, okay.
Ugh. Oh my God.
Yep. I don't even have any further comment on that. Yep, that's all I can say.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyhow, real quick, moving on. the like head of Greenland, the prime minister, I don't know what they have, prime minister, president, the head of Greenland and the head of Denmark are coming to the White House tomorrow to meet with JD Vance and Trump. So that's interesting because, we've been threatening all kinds of stuff. Polling on that today also, 68% oppose us trying to take Greenland, 8% approve and support it. So that means there's 34% of America that has no opinion on this, which is that's always interesting to people that don't care either way. But yeah, only 8% would say they support what we're trying to do with Greenland. So
apparently our military is fighting Trump back on this.
I hope so, because you can't go in and invade a NATO country. I would hope that everybody would understand that. Also, there's a couple Republicans and Democrats that have a bill they've put together that would basically not allow any funding to go towards taking actions against a NATO country. It would basically nip it in the butt. I don't know if that'll actually pass or not. We'll have to see how that goes. But that should be 100-0 in the Senate and 435-0 in the House. But
yeah,
we'll see what happens there. I'm sure they'll have some way. I did have a video real quick on Greenland just to show you Trump's state of mind on this. So check this out real quick.
Put it on.
Thank you. And the policy question. How much money are you thinking of giving people in Greenland to get them on board with a possible U.S.
I'm not talking about money for Greenland yet. I might talk about that. But right now, we are going to do something on Greenland, whether they like it or not, because if we don't do it, Russia or China will take over Greenland, and we're not going to have Russia or China as a neighbor. Okay? I would like to make a deal, the easy way, but if we don't do it the easy way, we're going to do it the hard way.
Yeah. What does he mean by the hard way?
I don't know. He said, we're going to do it whether they like it or not. And then he said, we're going to do it the easier. That doesn't sound good. Like that sounds like he wants to use military. I don't know what other way you would do it.
Well, yeah, I'm just trying to think. Like, I don't think he's that dumb to want to attack Greenland and take it by force.
I do think he's bluffing. I think he's trying to make them think that he would attack, only to then at the last minute try to work a deal out. He's trying to he would say he's negotiating from a place of leverage or a place of strength. Like that's what he's trying to do.
The art of the deal, baby.
It is, yeah. So, and actually, did you see Jon Stewart Monday night? It was last night.
I don't know if I did.
You should check it out. It was good on all fronts. Minnesota, Greenland, and Iran, which we're about to talk about. But he had some of the best takes on the whole Greenland thing. I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to try to repeat it, but watch Jon Stewart from last night. So anyhow, that's where we're at with Greenland. So, and just to keep track, Venezuela, I think we said last time, Venezuela issued a travel advisory, or we issued a travel advisory for any Americans in Venezuela to get out of there right now. They're hunting Americans. Things don't look good down there. Greenland, we're threatening. Colombia now, it looks like we might be cool with. Trump talked to their president on the phone the other day, and apparently, he charmed Trump. He probably told Trump how great he is and how much he admires him. And so I think Colombia might be cool now. But
I think Colombia has the most drugs. Most of the drugs come from Colombia.
This isn't about the drugs. If it was about the drugs, Colombia would have been number one on the list. But Trump also said, though, that Mexico, he said flat out that we're about to do strikes in Mexico. So he might be bluffing. I don't know, but that's where that's at. So
do we not have an agreement with them?
I'm sure we do, but it doesn't matter.
They're not part of NATO, but
no, but I'm sure we have some kind of treaties with them. There's got to be.
We should.
Yeah, I'm guessing there is. He just doesn't care. So we have all those, and then Iran. I honestly, all day long, I was expecting that by the time we recorded, we would have bombed Iran. I'm shocked we haven't yet. I think with Venezuela, I was a month early, but I honestly think we're going to do something to Iran here in the next day or two. He and Obama messed up in 2014. Little history lesson. When Syria was going through a civil war, Obama said flat out, this is my red line. He cannot use chemical weapons on his own citizens. If he does that, the U.S. will be forced to respond. And then al-Assad, the president of Syria, he did. As soon as Obama said that, he was like, oh, watch me. And he did it. And then Obama waited out and said, we don't need to get into another war of those. So he never did anything. And Republicans beat his ass for that for the next 2 years. He put a line in the sand and Assad walked right over it. He's so weak, blah, blah, blah. Trump's kind of put himself in that same position here where he said for the last couple of days that if they start shooting protesters or harming protesters, that America would have their back and do something about it. By the way, comical that he's doing everything he can to prevent Iran from shooting their protesters. Yet, if you're a
Yeah.
protester in America, you don't get that protection. But okay, let's get past that. But also, he said that they've been shooting protesters, according to reports, and who knows what you can believe. There's over 2,000 dead because of these protests, is what the number that's coming out is. We don't know if that's true or not.
I just see. I'm looking up something right now. It says, "Oh, BBC said more than 2,000. CBS is over 12,000 feared dead after Iran protests."
So
As video shows bodies lined up.
All right, hold on real quick. Let's evaluate this. CBS has a way bigger number than the BBC, right?
Yeah.
Who owns CBS?
Who owns CBS? I don't know.
The guy that what's his name?
Murdoch?
No, it's the guy that just bought Paramount and installed Bari Weiss.
Okay.
Ellison, David Ellison. He's a big time Israel supporter. Okay,
Okay.
Israel would love nothing more than for us to get back into it with Iran. They've been trying to convince us for the last couple of weeks. So we have a big time Israel supporter that owns CBS, and CBS happens to have a much bigger number. Yeah, duh.
Yeah.
I'm not falling for that. By the way, quick side note: CBS's ratings have tanked over the past couple of weeks. They've lost a quarter of their viewership in like the past 2 or 3 weeks ever since installing Bari Weiss and whoever this new guy is they have doing the evening news. Very, very pro-Trump, very pro-Israel, and they're losing viewers, and it's fantastic. I hope it
Nice.
crashes and
Good.
burns. So good on that.
Good.
But yeah, so Trump said don't kill protesters. They've killed 2,000 is the number I keep seeing. Then he said they were saying they were going to start hanging protesters that they'd caught, and Trump said, "Oh, they better not do that. If they do that," and tomorrow they have the first hanging scheduled. So I think it'll be like at 4 a.m. our time or something like that. But they're going to hang the first one in a public square in front of everybody. And Trump specifically said they can't do that, or else we'll have to do something. So he's painted himself now to where he has to do something, or he's a pussy. Like that's kind of where we're at. We'll see what he does. The thing is, like, what's he going to do? Strike the heart of Tehran? Like, there's protesters in the streets. Like, if he strikes the government buildings there, he's also going to get the protesters. So
Yeah.
I don't know what he would strike. We'll
I
see.
don't know. That's interesting.
Very.
It's interesting how like the anti-war president is like basically going to war with so many countries. I mean, not just like dropping bombs, but also tariff wars.
Well, and not just that. Remember how we just over the last week or so learned that he's a big fan of the Monroe Doctrine, and he's calling it the Donroe Doctrine now. And we don't care about what's going on across the ocean. We're going to only worry about what's in our hemisphere. And now we're about to bomb Iran. So, yeah, this works out great.
He's all over the place.
Yeah, it's just there's no consistency to it at all. There was just like the Venezuela travel advisory. Our State Department put out a travel advisory. Hold on. It says Iran. U.S. citizens should leave now. Consider departing by land to Turkey or Armenia. It is safe to do so. Or it said, if safe to do so. Protests across Iran continue to escalate. Increased security measures, road closures, public transportation disruptions, internet blockages are ongoing. The government of Iran has restricted access to mobile, landline, and national internet networks. Airlines continue to limit or cancel flights to and from Iran, with several suspending service. The airlines are suspending service because they think Trump's about to bomb it. They don't want their passenger planes in the air. So we're telling people to get out as quick as you can on foot if you have to.
We did that in Venezuela, right?
We told them to get out, but be aware of gangs that are basically hunting Americans. This was different, and a lot of people pointed this out. The fact that they said get out and do it on foot if you have to, that's urgent. That get out of the cities right now, meaning we're probably about to do something. So get ready for that. And then also, just for fun, this is the tweet that Trump put out yesterday. Iranian patriots, keep protesting. Take over your institutions. Save the names of the killers and abusers. They will pay a big price. I have canceled all meetings with Iranian officials until the senseless killings of protesters stops. Help is on the way. MEGA, Make Iran Great Again, President Donald J. Trump. So help is on the way.
MEGA.
Yeah, make Iran great again. And the key part of that to me was help is on the way. Well, hold on, wait, help? missiles, troops. What kind of help are we talking here? Like,
Mm.
also, he's telling, like, normally when we back a revolt or a coup, we do it secretively, and he's openly telling them, take over your institutions. So it's just a little more out in the open than we tend to do.
Mm.
This is going to piss Russia off big time. Russia and Iran are tight. Also, he put a 25% tariff on any countries that do trade with tariff, and he said this is additional to the tariffs he already has on countries. Their biggest trading partners are China, Iraq, the UAE, Turkey, India, and Pakistan. So whatever our tariff is on China at the moment, I think it's like 45 or 50%, I'm guessing. It just got 25% added to that. The other countries, I don't know what we get from them. We probably get a lot from India now that I think about it. So anyhow,
When is the Supreme Court going to rule on tariffs being legal or not?
they were supposed to do it last Friday and then they chickened out, so I have no idea.
They chickened out.
They did. Trump also had, and I didn't even pull it, but Trump had a big tweet about like if the Supreme Court foolishly overrules me on the tariffs, blah blah, blah, the whole thing. But he basically was saying the real number is like trillions of dollars that we'll have to pay back. When it's not. On December 14th, they had to submit to the court how much they've taken in tariffs, and it was like 200 billion. It was a lot of money, but he always has to inflate it and make it worse. And at the end of it, he said basically if they overturn my tariffs, the country is screwed, meaning like we're going to go bankrupt because of all the money we have to pay back. And it's just like so you did an illegal thing that if you get called on, now we're screwed. Like, thanks, buddy. Thanks for all your hard work. So anyhow,
Yeah.
fun stuff, right?
Super fun. This is so exciting. It's exciting times to be alive, Andy.
I know. So the No New Wars president that's only focused on our hemisphere is doing a lot right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Way to go, America.
I know. I'm loving it.
USA.
So I know you had something you were wanting to pull up tonight. What do you got for me?
Measles update. I got a measles update for you.
Okay.
Um,
Are all the blue dots good or bad?
Here we go. Measles update. Oh yeah, blue dots, local. The red dots are imported. So the bigger the blue dot means the more cases. We are at 2,246 cases reported from January 1st, 2025 to January 9th, 2026. There's a huge surge in Utah, Texas, and South Carolina right now.
So I think, and I'm not 100% sure on this, but the big blue dot in Texas over in like the kind of New Mexico border, that was from earlier in the year. I think that's kind of under control now. The big one that everybody keeps talking about is the one in South Carolina. The numbers there are jumping a couple hundred every couple days. So, but yeah.
I guess they don't vax over there either.
I don't know. The one in Texas, and this was true of a couple of them apparently, is it was like religious communities that are like like almost like the, you know what what is it, the FLDS, Fundamentalist Church of Latter-day Saints or whatever.
Is it the same thing as Christian Scientists?
No. So there's a couple Netflix documentaries on the FLDS, and one of them is called like Keep Sweet and Obey or something. Anyhow, very, very crazy religious people that like, it's like the one where like the guy running the church is also sleeping with all the women and the underage girls. Like it's one of those type things. But the group out in West Texas was like almost on that level, and they didn't believe in medicine or doctors or anything. And then their kids started dying of measles. I don't know if the one in South Carolina is the same or not.
Okay.
So
well, it's interesting that the Trump administration gets in and measles cases just start spiking.
Yeah. And hold on, how much is it over last year? Let's go back 2 years just to see. How many measles cases in 2024? Let's just say when Biden was, because I think it's been on the increase every year because vaccine hesitancy since COVID has been becoming more and more. So it's been on the way up. It's not like it just shot up randomly with Trump. How many measles cases in 2024? Oh, and I guess in the U.S. In the U.S. Okay, hold on. Why won't you just tell me a number? 285 confirmed measles cases in 2024. Oh, yeah, okay. That is a big increase. Hold on, let's see about 2020. Oh, we just looked at 2025. Let's go to 2023 here.
1,000% increase.
Let me see. 2023, it was 58
Crazy.
cases. Okay, never mind. It's. I thought it was going to turn out that it wasn't that big a jump from last year, but I'm wrong. Well, I'm wrong
Yeah,
on that one.
I don't. I mean, I'm my guess. Here's just my thought is that they're not taking it seriously. Like when Biden was in office, when there's a measles outbreak in Texas, like they send in somebody from FEMA or whatever, and they start like trying to figure it out, and they do a really good job of separating and figuring out where it's coming from, and like, okay, maybe you have it, and now they're not doing that.
You know what they would also do is they do a big public push to remind people to get vaccinated. That'd be the key
Yes.
thing. That's our
Yes.
number. That's our number one tool in these situations. Which
Yeah.
I know the one in Texas, like the kid that died early on in Texas of measles. Like I think RFK went there, and they ended up. It was just like COVID. They were like, well, the kid had comorbidities. This it's not like this was a totally healthy kid that just died of measles. Like the kid had other health problems, and it's like and with same with COVID, my response is like he wouldn't be dead if it weren't for COVID. Like he had other health problems, but he wouldn't be dead if not for that. Same with this kid with measles, and I'm sure that's what they're probably trying to do in most of these cases is prove that it wasn't the measles, it was other stuff.
In the
So
first decade of reporting, an average of 6,000 measles-related deaths were reported each year.
and then it got
Um,
way better for a period of time there, where it was almost eradicated in the United States.
we got a vaccine in 1963. Um, Nearly all children got measles by the time they were 15. It was estimated 3 to 4 million people in the United States were infected each year. Among reports measles cases each year, an estimated 400 to 500 people died. 48,000 were hospitalized. 1,000 suffered encephalitis, which is swelling of the brain. Yeah.
Apparently, when you get the measles, it like wipes your immune system. Like it makes it to where you forget immunity to all other things. So after having the measles, then you're very susceptible to the flu, common cold, like all these other things that your body could normally handle really well because it knew how to beat it. Like it
Mhm.
erases your like database of like inside your immune system somehow.
Where's the point to where if you because I'm vaccinated, you're vaccinated, most people are vaccinated, but what point does the vaccine not work anymore?
I don't think so. I think I would assume the vaccine works. I don't know on measles.
No, it's a herd immunity thing, right? Like if we have herd immunity, then measles can't spread. But if we get below a certain percentage, I don't think the vaccine works anymore, right?
Well, let's find out. It says at least 11 years following one dose and 15 years following two doses.
Okay.
So, yeah,
It's been definitely
yeah,
probably 30 years since I've had one.
let's get measles, buddy. Let's just, if we're going to do this, let's do America the way it's intended to be, the way RFK wants it to go. Let's
We
just
all
do
get
it.
measles.
I swear. Yeah, pretty much.
Huh.
So, okay, well, that's fun.
Super fun.
Yeah.
Super fun. Did you see that the O1B visas are basically for like famous people?
H1B.
Um,
Is it OM? I've never
I
heard
think
of
it's
O.
O1B. The
Okay.
O1B ones. Well, they're starting to open it up to like just basically rich people. OnlyFans, content creators, Instagram models, and now that has reached 60 to 65% of O1B
Bringing
clients
in
are
beautiful people.
online content
You're
creators.
right. An O1B visa is a U.S. work visa for individuals with extraordinary ability in the arts or extraordinary achievement in motion pictures or television.
Have you ever met an OnlyFans model that had extraordinary achievements?
I've seen a couple that are pretty extraordinary.
Yeah.
There's Ron DeSantis in Florida is trying to do a deal where anyone who like what are they, there's a name from they're called like bops, BOP, but like girls that do the online thing. He wants them to be taxed at a 50% state tax. So they would have to pay like 30% to the feds and then 50% to the state. Like a total of like 70 or 80% of their income would go to taxes.
Okay.
He's calling it like an OnlyFans sin tax or something like that. And apparently, a whole lot of OnlyFans creators live in Florida. They're all freaking out and trying to make plans to move out of Florida. He's only proposed it, and who knows if it would actually pass or not, but that's what he's proposing. So
Wow.
I just thought that was
Okay.
interesting. Yeah.
The syntax, another syntax.
Yep. So thought that was good. Real quick, I don't know if you saw, but inflation numbers came out today. Did you see
No.
anything on that?
Mm-mm.
Inflation, it stayed at 2.7%, so it didn't go up or down from the previous month, but grocery prices went up 0.7%, which is the highest since 2022.
Oh, wow.
So grocery prices are up, and Trump came out right afterward and said, "Oh, inflation's on its way down. Groceries are going down, down, down." And it's like, no, specifically, groceries were the problem in this report. But he didn't bother, looking into it, I guess, or maybe he saw it and just decided to lie about it. I'm not really sure which one.
Where are these numbers coming from?
These are coming from him. These are coming from the
The,
BLS
the
Bureau.
numbers are?
Yeah,
And so do we believe those numbers?
it's probably worse, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I'd love to see how they're doing the math on it. But we're not going to get into all this. But Jerome Powell, the head of the Fed, who Trump's been on him because he wants him to cut interest rates more. Economists would say if he cuts interest rates, that's going to make inflation go up. So that's why he's not doing it. Whatever. I'm not an economist, so I don't know who to believe there. But Trump, I guess, had Janine Pirro open up an investigation into him. So they sent him a letter for like grand jury testimony, and he came out Saturday night and did basically like it looked like a hostage video, but where he was basically saying Trump is doing this for political reasons, like I've done nothing wrong, blah blah blah. My boy Justin Wolfers, he's my favorite economist. He's the guy that's like Australian, maybe. But he went on the BBC, and I do have one clip I want to play for you about his. This is about Trump's war with the Fed.
President Trump has repeatedly criticized Powell for not cutting U.S. interest rates more aggressively. He's also threatened to fire him. Perhaps, have we ever seen this before? There's been friction between presidents and Fed chairs in the past, but this is a whole other level, isn't it?
Well, it depends how you look at it. Argentina's done it. Russia's done it. Turkey's done it. Venezuela's done it. And Zimbabwe's done it. So it's not unprecedented. It's a thing that tin pot dictators do. And it's a thing that tin pot dictators do right before starting a hyperinflation and destroying their own economies.
Right.
So, and I went through after I saw that clip, and I was like, let me go back through and look at the countries he's talking about. And maybe it's been done in other countries additionally to those, and it worked out fine. But in all the countries I could find, every time a president takes control of the Fed and lowers interest rates, the hyperinflation follows within a year. So whoever Trump ends up, because Powell's term is up in May of this year, so less than 5 months to go. So Trump only has 5 months to go, but for some reason he can't wait those 5 months. He's got to get them out now, so he's trying everything he can. It's interesting because if he cuts rates in May, he might juice the economy just enough to get through the midterms, but then right after the midterms, hyperinflation would come through. So we'll see what happens.
And he's actually opened the investigation on the Fed building renovations.
Well,
right?
it's on Powell, who's the head of the Fed, but he's claiming this is the best part. He's opening it because he's saying that Powell was dishonest about the renovations and the cost overruns. So it's coming in above budget, and it is. And Powell keeps having to go back in front of Congress and explain what's going on. But it's a 100-year-old building, so they keep finding like lead in the walls, which you can't do that anymore because of lead poisoning and asbestos and stuff like that. So as they're fixing this building up, they keep coming in different issues, and it's the stuff they have to address. So the price has gone up. Now, Trump's the man that started with a $200 million ballroom that is now up to $400 million. Like when it comes to cost overruns, the fact that Trump is suing someone over construction cost overruns is hysterical. Like,
is he suing him or is he just opening?
Sorry, he's investigating. He had Janine Pirro open an investigation. So she.
Now you're in the renovation business.
Yep.
Ish. So
remodel.
Does anything ever come in under budget?
No, there's always problems. Every problem equals money. Every little issue you run into means more money. That's how it goes.
There's always issues.
Always. It's never a time. It is. Hopefully, you have a builder or a contractor that is skilled enough to where when an issue arises, they know a quick, easy fix that doesn't cost a lot of money. The better your builder, the better they are at dealing with those, and more cost efficient they are. The worse, the more issues you're going to have. That's kind of
so the builder that Trump's using and Powell's using just aren't very good at their job.
So I don't know anything about Trump's new architect because he fired the first one. He got into an argument with him because the architect basically was like, "This is going to look dumb. This building is going to be so much bigger than the White House and the West Wing. We can't can't do it. And they argued about it for a while, and Trump ended up firing him. So now he's got a new architect, and the new architect, we got to get into this at some point, but the new architect, his solution is, well, yeah, it's going to be off balance now. So once we do the ballroom, then we've got to go back and add on to the West Wing and make it the same size as the ballroom is. That's what they're talking about now. So yeah.
Huh.
Also,
Great.
on the ballroom, there's all these conspiracy theories, and that's all they are right now is conspiracy theories. But I say people have come up with good evidence. I don't know if it's true or not, that there's a hidden project going on with that Trump ballroom, and it's under the ballroom, and it's going to be like a server farm that's going to be a bunker / server farm for Trump, basically, is what it
What's
comes
the
down
server
to.
farm for?
Important national data that's going to be housed there, like the data centers that are getting built everywhere. There's pictures of the excavation they're doing, and they're going way deeper than you would do for a foundation. It's a full-on basement that's going to be there. And
I think, I wouldn't be mad about building a bunker under the White House for the president.
there's already a bunker, but apparently when Trump, so the first time, according to reports, the first time Trump ever saw the bunker was during the Lafayette Square protests, right across from the White House during his first term. And they actually came in at one point and got him and said, "Sir, you need to come with us down to the bunker," and rushed him down there. And according to reports from his people, when he got down there, he was, I don't know what the right word is. He was pissed and couldn't believe how nasty and dirty and small, and like, this is the presidential bunker, like this piece of shit, this is where you want me to go. So part of this is he's making a new bunker. Now the reason this is dumb though is because the bunker that he has is right under the West Wing, so if there's an emergency they can get him down to it in a hurry. The one under the East Wing, he's going to have to go all the way back through the residency, through the main building, and down a corridor, and then to that. So it won't be
They'll
as quick.
Build him a tunnel. They'll probably build him a tunnel from the other one to that one.
Okay, we would notice that. There'd be pictures. Maybe not. I'm going to say, I think
boring. He's got boring under his wing.
Yeah.
Right?
Got Elon doing it. The Boring Company.
Boring tunnel.
So, anyhow.
He's probably going to have a little golf cart down there, too, so he doesn't have to walk.
It would be a little tram. So, real quick. RFK went on Katie Miller's podcast. Katie Miller, Stephen Miller's wife, has that podcast where she's just interviewing Trump administration officials. But she had RFK on there, and I will say it was interesting to see how honest RFK was. Her question was, who has the worst diet in the White House? And he giggled. It was like, Trump, definitely Trump. Like that guy, what did he say? He's just pumping poison into his body all day long. Like he was like, I have no clue how he's still alive. And I was like, hey, thank you for being honest there. Like you could tell the way he said it, you could tell that RFK is like legitimately disgusted by the stuff he's seen Trump eat. And he said that when Trump's on the road, he likes to eat at fast food chains because he can trust the food there. He doesn't have to worry about somebody trying to like poison him. So he goes there because if he sends one of his lackeys out to go get him a Big Mac and stuff, the person making the Big Mac has no clue it's for the president. So in his mind, that's the safest way for him to not get poisoned is to eat fast food.
He could go to like Chili's or any restaurant really. He's having somebody else grab it for him.
Yeah, you'd have to get somebody to get you Chili's to go because if he walks in and sits down, then the chef could try to poison him or spit in his food or whatever. So yeah.
Would you spit in his food if he came in, if you were waiting tables and he came in and he was your...
I don't know. So here's the thing. I'd like to say that like if I saw Trump, I'd be like, hey, blah, 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 But like in reality, like I think if I was somewhere and he came there, I'd probably freeze and do nothing like that.
Yeah. Hold on. Hey. You got to bring up the story of you and G-Dub again.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. The moral of that story is if you see the president, especially if you're drunk, don't run at him. Don't run at him screaming his name. That doesn't work out well for anybody. I made it. Let's say I started off 50 feet from him. I made it. The closest I got to him was 47 feet. I made it 3 feet before I got tackled. And what's funny is I didn't even see the Secret Service. They were all around me, but they were like dressed casual. And the second that I was like, Bush, and I took off running, like I made it like 4 steps tops, and I went down. I went down hard. He went down too. What was interesting is as I was on the ground at one point, I looked over and he was on the ground with a whole bunch of Secret Service on top of him, like protecting him from a shooter, I guess.
They thought you were a threat.
They did. I think anytime somebody runs at the president, they get on top of him. So, and he was old at that point. This was in 2003 or four. So he was, he was elderly. What's great is I did get a picture with him afterward. As they were letting me up, he was like, because I was screaming when I was on the ground. I think I was screaming. I was like, I just wanted a picture with him. And you know how long ago this was? I had a Fun Saver camera, the little ones where you had to wind the thing between each shot. And they ended up letting me get a picture with him. And I had my arm around him, and it was good times. But moral of the story, kids. If you see the president, don't run at him at all. So
or yell his name. Well,
I was hammered. It was like what's sad is I was hammered, and it was like 10:30 a.m. Like it was.
Where were you at?
I was at Kyle Field at College Station. A&M was playing OU that day. It was a historic game for the record. A&M, OU was supposed to go to the national championship game. All they had to do was win their very last game of the year against A&M, who they should have beat, and A&M ended up beating them. It was a big upset, and I was actually on TV that day because I was hanging out with our buddy that was in the Marine Corps, the Corps at A&M. So I was sitting in the Corps block where everybody there was wearing their brown, like, cadet outfits, except for me, who was wearing like a gray Old Navy like performance fleece and a backward hat. So every time they showed the core block, I was like right in the middle and the only one not wearing. So I got so many calls after that where everybody's like, I swear to God, I saw you at the NM game. I'm like, yep, that was me. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, fun stuff. So I've only got one more video to play tonight. Do you have anything else for me before I play that?
I've got one more video as well, but I think we should end with my video.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is just a for fun one. Trump, as we all know, has been upset about the Nobel Prize. That lady that is the opposition in Venezuela, Machado, I think is her name. She won the Nobel Prize this last year. She dedicated it to Trump. Trump is not letting her lead Venezuela. Everybody thought if we went in and got Maduro, he'd let her be the leader of Venezuela, and he's not. He left Maduro's regime in charge, and
which is insanely crazy. It's all about the oil, right?
It had nothing to do with drugs, and it had nothing to do with the way that they were an oppressive dictatorship. That none of that. It was the oil. That was what we're doing. But Hannity had Machado on recently, and he was like, he basically was like, have you tried giving your Nobel Prize to Trump? Maybe that would make a difference. Like, he didn't say that directly, but that was the gist. And she was like, oh no, I very much intend to. Like, I'm going there next week to give it to him. So I think that's happening here in the next couple of days, where she's going to go. And the Nobel Committee in Norway had to release a statement that basically said, like, you cannot transfer it. Like yes, he can have it on his mantle, but it's yours. It doesn't go to him. Anyhow, they asked Trump about all this, and I thought his response was pretty hysterical. Check this out.
Let me ask you about Maria Corina Machado. I've had her on TV this week.
Yeah, she's a very nice person.
Okay, she won the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yes.
When she accepted that Peace Prize, she dedicated it to you. She said to me this week, both on TV and radio, that she wants to give the Nobel Prize, her Nobel Peace Prize, to you for liberating her country. In 2023, she won over 92% of the vote to be the leader of the opposition. Maduro kept her off the ballot. Do you have any plans to meet with her? And would you accept the Nobel Prize she wants to hand to you?
Well, I understand she's coming in next week sometime. And I look forward to saying hello to her. And I've heard that she wants to do that. That would be a great honor. I did put out 8 wars. 8 1/4, because Thailand and Cambodia started going at it again. So
I'll put the list up.
I give a quarter, so it's you put the list out. It's a hell of a list. But I've stopped 8 wars, and I think it's been a major embarrassment to Norway. Now I don't know what Norway has to do with it, but that's where the committee is located. A lot of Norwegian people, and it's been a very big embarrassment to the country of Norway. Whether they have anything to do with it or not, I think they do. They say they don't. But, when you put out 8 wars, in theory, you should get 1 for each war, okay? Because some of these wars were going on for 30 years. India, Pakistan.
He wants 8 1/4 peace prizes.
Let's not forget, this is the man that has bombed like 8 different countries so far this year. A record for any president, okay? Let alone the FIFA Peace Prize winning president. So, but he said this is a major embarrassment for Norway. I don't know if they have anything to do with it, but it's a major embarrassment for them. And then later
I
he
think
was
they
like,
do.
yeah, he was like, they say they don't, but they do. No, the committee is located in Norway. The Norwegian government doesn't have anything to fucking do with it. This guy, I swear to God. The fact that he truly is lobbying for the next Nobel Peace Prize, though, while at the same time bombing other countries and threatening to invade a NATO ally, like,
It's insane. This is it. We are living in
yeah.
the craziest time in American history.
Real quick, do you know the story of the guy that started the Nobel Prize?
No.
I'm gonna look it up so I can give you the full story next time. But apparently he's known because he invented like a horrific weapon. It was a bomb or a chemical gas or something that like led to many people being killed on the battlefield. And he started to realize that he was going to go down in history as a bad guy because he created this awful weapon that's being used in war. And to try to save his image before he died, he started the Nobel Peace Prize to basically to make it to where like, oh, when you hear the name Nobel, you'll think peace and not war. Yeah,
That's pretty funny.
it's really funny. So anyhow, I'm out of content for the night. What do you got?
Okay. Okay. So, did you know Trump's doing stand-up comedy now?
He does when he gets on stage. He does like to riff a little bit.
I think he's coming in strong right again though.
Okay.
Look this video. Watch this video here.
And you see, I want to be more, but I have somebody watching. I want to be more effusive. I want to really, yeah. But she gets it, and drops the thing, walks off the stage crying. Her mother's crying, her father's crying. Guy gets up. He said, "Have you lifted before?" A little bit. And he walks up. Bing. He could have gone ding, 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 ding. I think it was 112 pounds.
Dude, I actually saw that video. He was making fun of like transgender weightlifters there. Am I right? Something like that.
Yeah.
So the first thing I saw, and I sent it to you, but was a picture of, it was a compilation. Somebody had taken a bunch of still shots of Trump's face and put it all together in a big compilation or a collage of it. And it was Trump making the most ridiculous faces I'd ever seen. And I had to stop and I was like, hold on. What is the context here? What is he doing? Because do you remember that time where he was making fun of the reporter that had like a handicap and had the arms like this? And he was, yeah. So that was my first thought is like, who is he making fun of here? And it turns out he was making fun of a transgender, which totally checks out.
I've never seen a leader of a free world or any world be so ridiculous and so just bombastic and dumb.
Immature is the word.
Immature.
Like, yeah. It's like it's not even high school. It's elementary insults. And also with that, in the picture that I sent you, he's doing a lot of like this. There's a movie. I think it was on Amazon. It was called like Rickety Snickety or something along those lines, but it had Zac Efron and John Cena in it. And in the movie, Zac Efron's boss talks with his hands a lot, and John Cena points out, he's like, "Your boss is a major air dicker." And he's like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, he's air dicking." And then they all start to look and they notice it, and then they have to tell him, and it's like, "Sir, you're a world-class air dicker." That's if you pay attention, ever since I saw that movie, Trump is big into this thing. And even when he dances, his dance move is this. Like he's jerking 2 guys right into his face. Like that's the Trump dance move. So yeah, world-class air dicker. And anyhow, his
stand-up doesn't stop there because he came out with another bit today.
Oh, fun.
Check out this video.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen.
So the thing with that right there is I get why he's doing that. Like that's all he has left to satisfy his base. Like his base wanted no new wars, lower taxes, a better economy, more affordable stuff. He can't give them any of that. But the one thing that they love most about him is that he just trolls the left and he pisses off the left. And that's what he's a fighter. He's sticking it to the left. And that's what they like. So if nothing else for the next couple of years, if he just keeps that up, if he just trolls the left daily, 30% of his base will still be with him. Like
That's
the most important thing is that he continues to piss off the left.
yeah, and I mean is that a mark on our education system?
Yes, it shows that not, and people have said this for the last 10 years, but like the average Trump voter isn't principled or ideological about anything. Like they're not big time for this or against that, whether it be wars or taxes or whatever. Like they're for Trump fighting back against the left. Like that's all if he does nothing but that, they're still cool with him. And so that's what he's kind of got to lean into now because the affordability thing is going to be a problem going forward. We're getting into conflicts or threatening conflicts with a lot of different countries right now. Affordability is a problem. The rich are getting tax breaks. There's all kinds of issues. So just keep that up, buddy. Yeah, keep it up. Oh,
Keep
shit.
it up.
I forgot something here. Sorry, I'm glad. I just remembered. Christy Noem. So you know how Republicans in general, talking about them not being ideological, Republicans in general have always been the ones that are worried about the tyrannical government, like, oh, we got to have our guns because one day a tyrannical government might, well, here we are now and we have masked, armed, militarized police roaming the streets.
Seems
and
tyrannical.
they seem to be totally fine with that. So I'm kind of like, dude, this was the moment you've been waiting for. They don't seem to care. They're also the ones that think that the government's spying on them. And I actually agree with some of that, like the Patriot Act and all the stuff that Edward Snowden, got out there. So but that's been their thing. Christy Noem tweeted this today, and I think this is fascinating. Tell me your thoughts. She says, drones represent a new frontier of American air superiority. Under President Trump, we are entering a new era to defend our air superiority, to protect our borders and the interior of the United States. With the creation of the DHS program, Executive Office for Unmanned Aircraft Systems and Counter Unmanned Aircraft Systems, President Trump continues his historic legacy in developing American dominance. This will help us to continue to secure our border and cripple the cartels, protect our infrastructure, and keep Americans safe as they attend festivities and events during a historic year of America's 250th birthday and the FIFA 2026. So if you think back, Don Jr. Became like on the board of some drone company that then this happened a couple months ago, but he got on the board of some drone company and then immediately they signed some secretive deal with our government. And it's like clearly because Don Jr. joined the board. Now Christy Noem is announcing that DHS, not drones overseas, this is in America, DHS is going to have a fleet of drones to protect our borders and the interior. I'm very concerned because we've all heard about Palantir. They're putting Palantir software onto drones in Gaza and using AI facial recognition stuff. Like, you want to talk about Big Brother, like Big Brother floating around, keeping an eye on all of us. We're about to have a fleet of drones over America keeping an eye on all of us.
Well, in Colorado here, they've got these cameras on the side of the road now that are recording everything and sending it to who knows where. So they're tracking our every move.
This is just taking it a step further. Now they're going to be not limited to the roadways. And I've seen some of the stuff these drones can do. Like there's a drone over my house right now. It can tell where I am, my wife is, and my daughter is. Like heat signatures and all that. Like
what?
They have like infrared on these drones. So like I saw a thing, one of the military drones they were using in Gaza.
Did you say there is a drone over your house right now?
No, I said if there is a drone over my house.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
But like they can tell where everybody is in this house and they could surgically hit this house very easily using that technology. Interesting is all I'm going to say. Did you ever see the video of the drone that?
Not interesting.
There's video of a drone that flew into a hospital in Gaza, and there's a doctor. He was like their main doctor that was left in Gaza that was doing operations, and it flew in and it had some kind of a gun on it, I guess. Like a gun, shoots a bullet, and it flew in and went through some rooms, and it found the doctor and fired a single shot and just hit him right in the forehead. Doctor drops dead, and the drone flies back out of the hospital. And there are mixed reports as to whether that was a like manned drone, like somebody was behind the wheel of that thing, like playing a video game somewhere and was driving it, or was that AI technology where it was. All I'm saying is that's creepy.
Yeah, that's creepy. I imagine that somebody was behind a joystick or something.
I hope so.
But eventually it's going to be AI. There's going to be an AI face recognition software. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We're totally living in crazy times. Who is the most I'm gonna move to a country that has no AI. What country?
Good luck. We talk about it a bunch, but what country would you move to if you had to leave America? Where would you go?
Like I said, I would go to Mexico, but now if we're gonna go to war with Mexico, then they're gonna start killing American tourists or Americans who are fleeing or whatever.
Can't go to Mexico and also Mexico is just a shithole. Like there are good places in Mexico, the resorts, Playa del Carmen and Diamonds or
Mexico
whatever.
City would be great.
Yeah, no, there was riots down there not long ago. I don't want to live in Mexico. I wouldn't mind living in Canada under normal circumstances, but also like he keeps talking like we might get into it with Canada, so I'm not going there. Europe, if we leave NATO, Europe could be in a world of hurt when it comes to Russia. So,
I think the EU is going to be the world power after America if they play their cards right.
We'll see. I don't have faith in them right now, but honestly, like Sweden or Norway or something
They
like
don't
that.
want us.
No,
They don't want us. They're not going to let us in.
Okay. I'm going to say this. I'm exaggerating. I don't think this is really going to happen, but wouldn't it be interesting if in the next couple of years we hit a point where there's like an American refugee problem in Europe, where it's like all these Americans keep trying to sneak in because they're trying to escape their country. Like, wouldn't that be hysterical?
It's not outside the realm of possibilities. I mean, and think about it, like all of our lives and all of, the history of America. Like you go travel somewhere and like you're welcomed and like, oh, you're from America. You're from the land of the free, the greatest country ever. You saved us in World War II. We've wiped all that out. We are like
Yeah.
looked down upon now in other countries.
We talked about it a couple months ago, but other countries are putting travel advisories on America right now. They're telling their citizens, don't go to America. And if you do, be careful because there's some shit going on over there. So, like, other countries are warning their people not to come here.
And that was mostly because we were sending people to prisons in other countries. Where were we sending them? El Salvador?
Yeah, the CCOT in El Salvador. That's one of those where, like, if you're a brown person, it's probably not a good time to go to America if your skin is anything other than white. So, yeah.
And even then, if you don't have, I mean, they're going door to door now. Like, did you see JD Vance talk about they're going to start sending troops door to door?
We played that video last time, and they're not gonna start. They're already doing it. That's what they were doing when that Renee Good got killed. Is they were going door to door in that neighborhood. Yeah. And JD Vance said it so calmly. He's like, "Yeah, well, we were going door to door looking for illegals. That's a straight up violation of the Fourth Amendment. Like that. That's clear as day. You cannot do that. Yeah. Here we are,
looking for papers like Nazi Germany."
Joe Rogan said it. We played at the beginning, but like we have now a point. It's like where you're in. Again, I'm seeing a lot of videos of stuff that's going on like in Minnesota right now, and I'll bet a lot of Trump voters are not seeing them. But there's so many videos where there'll be a guy, like a black guy, pumping gas, and ICE agents will come marching up to him and be like, "Sir, can I see your identification? Where were you born? Blah blah blah." And like the guy will pull out his wallet and give him all the stuff, and then they have some kind of like a it's bigger than a phone, but it's not quite as big as a tablet. I don't know what it is. It's in like a rugged case, but they always go to that. And then whatever checks out, they give the guy his stuff back. And they don't even say, like, thanks, sorry for the inconvenience. No, they just give him his stuff back and turn around and leave. And it's like, we've hit the point in America where if you're not white, you better have your papers on you. Like, if you don't, you're asking for it.
It's crazy time, Danny.
Good way to end the show right there, buddy. All right. Have a good night, sir. I will talk to you in the next couple of days.
Peace.
Later.
Sometimes you eat the bar. Sometimes the bar eats you.